Today, I invite you to help me decorate my Christmas tree and learn some English along the way. Setting up the Christmas tree is one of our Christmas traditions, and we also decorate our house with Christmas wreaths and Christmas carolers, and we put lights outside. Do you celebrate Christmas? If you do, tell me in the comments what some of your Christmas traditions are. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, tell me what your big holiday is that you celebrate and when it is and what some of your traditions are. I recorded this video last Christmas. It was one of the first videos I made, and it has lots of explanations. If you'd rather do more speaking, at the end I'll link you to my Speak Out Loud videos that get you talking a bit more. Hey, welcome back to Share the English. I'm Leanne Gallant, and my mission is to share the English language with the world. In today's video, I'm going to set up and decorate this Christmas tree. I'll explain the whole thing as I do it. And at the end of the video, I'll explain any difficult words or concepts. There's a little bit of snow on the ground outside on our deck, and we're starting to get ready for Christmas. So we've got the tree, you can see in that box. Usually we get a real Christmas tree, but this year we're using an artificial one because we're going to be going away after Christmas, and I don't want to take the whole thing down the day or two after Christmas. And I don't want to leave a live tree here to dry out while we're not here. So that's where we're going to put the Christmas tree. And over here, you can see the door. That wreath is actually on the outside of the door. You can see it nicely through the glass door. We're starting to set up, and we have a pre-lit tree. And this is the first stage of it. Just a little ball here. So I'm going to pull down all the branches, and then we'll set the next section on. Here we are at stage 2 of the tree. I stuck the next piece in, and actually it kind of looks weird. Very interesting. So I'm going to see if I can show you how I do this. I'm going to reach out here and pull down a section. I can't really do this with one hand. All right. I'm going to pull down all these sections and fluff up the branches a bit, and then we'll put the top on after that. There we go. I spread all those branches out, and now it's starting to look a bit more like a tree. And the next piece I have to put on is the top piece, which is right there in the box. So I'll set that up on top. The top piece is on, but it's looking a little bit lopsided. So I will fix that up, and then the tree will be ready to decorate. Here we have the full tree. We got the kinks all straightened out, and the tree's all ready to go. So the next step is to put the angel on the top. Okay, there's the angel up on the tree. It wasn't so easy to get her up there straight this year because it's an artificial tree and it's not very solid at the top. But we'll get the tree decorated, and then we'll get her organized afterwards. The next thing I have to do is put the garland on the tree. So I've got to find it in all these bins, but luckily the bins are clear and I can see that the garland is in there. So I'll get that out and get that going. I've strung out my wooden beads garland on the floor here, and I'll take one row at a time and put them on the tree. You can see they're made of little wooden blocks and hearts and stars and things. And then my other garland is made up of these stars. I'm not sure what they're made of. They're kind of straw-like things, and they all stick together. So I'll have to lay those out on the floor next and put those on the tree. But I'll start with these wooden beads. Now I have the bead garland on. You can't see it all completely well in this camera view, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of it on, and uh-oh, the angel's all askew. I'll straighten her up later. Next come the stars, but in the meantime, look what I found. The Christmas plates for fudge and candies. I managed to get the Christmas stars untangled without too much trouble this year, so as I'm looking at them, I realize there are a lot of stars for this tree, and I remember that last year when we moved into this house, we hung some of the stars on this beam up here. So I'll put some on the tree, and then I'll save 2 strings to hang up on the beams. All the garlands and stars are on the tree now. I've got the angel standing up straight again. She was looking a little tipsy earlier, like she'd been into the Christmas cheer. And I put the tree skirt at the bottom of the tree. So the tree skirt hides the, usually it hides the trunk of the tree and the base that we use that we keep water in to keep our live tree alive. But this just hides the tree stand that's holding up this tree. So I think now the next thing is to put the rest of the ornaments on the tree. But first I think I'm going to put some of the other Christmas decorations around the house. Over here we have our fireplace. It's an electric fireplace, so all those stockings will not catch on fire. We've hung the stockings up, and I generally put them in alphabetical order so we remember whose stocking is whose. Do you have Christmas stockings at your house? The Christmas tree is decorated, and it's looking a lot more Christmassy around here right now. Just move in closer and show you some of the things we've put on. This is a really interesting ornament that I got from Brazil. It's in a little gourd. You can see how small it is. And it's a little nativity scene there with Joseph and Mary and the baby Jesus. I don't know if you can tell, but they're actually very tiny people made out of corn husks, which is amazing. And in a small town called Rio Negro in Brazil, they have a whole village of people, tiny little people, miniatures, made out of corn husks set up there. Here's another ornament, one of my favorites. We call this the Riley ball. As you can see, it's a glass ball, and that's a painting of our dog Riley. A friend of mine gave it to me for Christmas one year, and I said, that looks exactly like Riley. She said, it is Riley. I actually gave a picture to an artist, and she painted it on this glass ball. Here's another cool glass ball. You can see the light shining behind it, showing lots of interesting colors. And then there's just a plain painted ball that's a wooden ornament painted to look like a ball. Got lots of little angels and snowflakes. What else do I have that's interesting? Here's a beaded ball that my friend made for me. A little Christmas mouse here. Let's see, here are a couple of ceramic stars that my sons made when they were children. And there's an icicle. I've got icicles hanging in different spots. There's another icicle hanging down there. Oh, and this Santa here is made from an oyster shell. It's been painted on an oyster shell. That's kind of fun. There's a big C-shaped Santa there. A couple of snowmen. I like these traditional types of ornaments to put on our tree, and lots of them have meaning because they were given by special friends. Some people like what I call the department store Christmas trees that basically look like a Christmas tree that's in a department store or a mall. It's all color coordinated, and they're quite nice, but I prefer these traditional style trees. So that's the Christmas tree. I hope you enjoyed it. This is where I explain some of the things I said earlier in the video. If you're enjoying Share the English, please hit subscribe. And if you're really enjoying Share the English, please tell 2 friends who are also trying to improve their English. In the video introduction, I said that it's my mission to share the English language with the world. That's my goal, my purpose. But a mission could also be something official, like a company mission or a space mission. To set up is a phrasal verb. It means to assemble or prepare something. I set up the Christmas tree, and then I decorated it. To decorate the tree means to add ornaments to make it look festive. I told you I would explain the whole thing. I explained the entire process for you. And let's get at it means let's begin or let's start. My mission is to share the English language with the world. In today's video, I'm going to set up and decorate this Christmas tree. I'll explain the whole thing as I do it. A real Christmas tree is a live tree that is cut down. You can either go to a Christmas tree farm and cut it down yourself, or you can buy one at a Christmas tree lot. An artificial tree is a tree that is bought at a store. Usually we get a real Christmas tree, but this year we're using an artificial one because we're going to be going away after Christmas, and I don't want to take the whole thing down the day or two after Christmas. And I don't want to leave a live tree here to dry out while we're not here. Take the whole thing down means to remove the decorations and put everything away. Live Christmas trees can dry out. They need to be sitting in water and have water added every day, otherwise they get dry and the needles fall off. To set up the Christmas tree means to put the tree together and arrange all the branches to make it look more natural. A pre-lit tree is an artificial tree that has lights already built into it. If you don't have a pre-lit tree, you have to buy separate lights and wrap them around the tree, just like you do with the garland. Pull down the branches means to move them down and spread them out to make them look more natural. We're starting to set up, and we have a pre-lit tree. And this is the first stage of it. Just a little ball here. So I'm going to pull down all the branches, and then we'll set the next section on. To stick something in is to fit one item into another. In this case, I stuck the middle section of the tree into the lower section of the tree. And then I said, it looks weird. It looked kind of strange or unusual. At the end, I said I would fluff up the branches. That's not a term that's normally used for branches, but I meant I would spread them out to fill out the space. Other things you might fluff up would be your pillows to make them look like they have more volume, or even fluff up your hair to make it look like it has more volume. Here we are at stage 2 of the tree. I stuck the next piece in, and actually it kind of looks weird. I'm going to pull down all these sections and fluff up the branches a bit, and then we'll put the top on after that. I put the angel on top. That means I placed her at the top of the tree. I was having a little trouble with the angel getting her to stay in place, so I said I'll get her organized after, which means I would fix or adjust her afterwards to make sure she looks good. We'll get the tree decorated and then we'll get her organized afterwards. I had to string out my garland in a long row to get it untangled. That means that I lay it out along the floor. I strung out the garland. And to put something on the tree means to place it on the tree. I've strung out my wooden beads garland on the floor here, and I'll take one row at a time and put them on the tree. Uh-oh, the angel's all askew. I'll straighten her up later. I had a lot of trouble with my angel when I was decorating the tree. I couldn't get her to stay on straight. She was all askew, which means she was crooked and falling off. And she looked a little tipsy. Tipsy means you've had a few too many drinks. and sometimes we refer to drinks at Christmas time as Christmas cheer. I've got the angel standing up straight again. She was looking a little tipsy earlier, like she'd been into the Christmas cheer. Ornaments are decorations that we hang on the tree or place throughout the house at Christmas or holiday time. A nativity scene shows the birth of Jesus with Mary and Joseph in a stable. Sometimes there are also animals and wise men and shepherds present. This nativity scene is very special. It's very tiny and it's in a little gourd. This is a really interesting ornament that I got from Brazil. It's in a little gourd. You can see how small it is. And it's a little nativity scene there with Joseph and Mary and the baby Jesus. The people in the nativity scene were made out of a corn husk. Corn husk is the thin, leafy outer covering of an ear of corn. Amazing. I then told you that we call this the Riley ball. That means the name of it is the Riley ball. It's my favorite ornament. And I said it looks like Riley. It looks exactly like Riley. Looks like means has a similar appearance to something. And I said, that looks exactly like Riley. She said, it is Riley. I actually gave a picture to an artist and she painted it on this glass ball. Icicles are made of ice. An icicle is a long, thin piece of ice that forms when water drips and freezes. It often hangs from roofs, trees, or ledges during cold weather. To hang something, in this case to hang it on the tree, means to place it on the tree. Or we can suspend something. We hung the stockings on the fireplace. We suspended them in the front of the fireplace. And there's an icicle. I've got icicles hanging in different spots. There's another icicle hanging down there. Thanks for helping me decorate the tree and sharing in some of my Christmas traditions. And please tell me what some of your traditions are, whether they're Christmas or other holidays, in the comments. Check out my Speak English Out Loud playlist if you want to practice your speaking. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.